Well, welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit the subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And in Game 5 of the preseason, the New Jersey Devils finally get in the win column, beating the New York Rangers at the Prudential Center by a score of 3-1. And who would have known that all it took to get a win was to send off all the NHL guys overseas to Prague and put a Brodeur in the goal. That is right, my friends. Jeremy Brodeur, son of the great Martin Brodeur, got his first taste of preseason action as a member of the New Jersey Devils and was absolutely stellar tonight in his performance. And let me tell you, for you older fans out there, this was just nostalgia overload. I've watched some of Jeremy's minor league games and the different leagues and teams he's played for over the years. I vividly remember when Jeremy was born. I remember seeing him and his twin brother William with Marty in photos and in person around at the arena and the practice rink and, you know, all the cup photos with them as little kids. And to now see him in 2024 as a 27-year-old getting the starting role for the Devils in a game at Prudential Center is just nostalgia overload. Nostalgia overload. I regret not going. I had a bunch of things going on today, and I really, really wanted to go, but was not able to make it. But I was cheering him on, watching from my house. And what a game, what a game, what a game. This team, obviously a completely different team than our real NHL roster. This roster was comprised of basically the Utica Comets and a few guys on PTOs. They looked hungry, they looked feisty, and they pretty much delivered everything you want to see your team do. They looked fast, they were edgy, heavier, edgier, more violent. The Fitzgerald Creed personified in tonight's game. A lot of chippiness. And first period, Hallinan, we saw him last year. I thought he was going to be a contender to potentially crack the lineup this year, and I still believe he can be. I'll touch on that more in a minute. But Hallinan on a beautiful breakaway from Willman beats Quick at 7:17 of the first period, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead. And then about 5 minutes later at 12:32, Leger, I believe. Leger, another breakaway, giving the Devils the 2-0 lead. And that's how the first period ended. And it's, wow, 2 breakaways on Jonathan Quick, one of the few NHLers in the Rangers lineup. And what a period. 2 breakaway goals. Jeremy Brodeur made a big breakaway save himself on Sikora. Not related to the former New Jersey Devil Peter Sikora, I don't think. I couldn't find. It's definitely not his son. Maybe it's a cousin or something. I don't know if Sikora is a common Czech name. I couldn't find any direct relation between them. But great first period for the Devils, and you're like, all right, this is, you know, what we wanted to see out of the big boys that we did not, unfortunately. Second period, some good chances back and forth. No scoring in the period. And then at the final buzzer, Hallinan drops the mitts. Let's get it. Hallinan with a feisty bout. Nothing too crazy, a lot of hugging, but he was utilizing the rarely used body shots. I like that. You don't see too many body shots, and he definitely threw a couple in there. Hats off to Hallinan. What a game for him. Gets that fight at the end of the second period, and he's going into the third period an assist away from the Gordie Howe hat trick. And for those of you that are not familiar with what a Gordie Howe hat trick is, a Gordie Howe hat trick, that's like a tongue twister. Gordie Howe hat trick. Gordie Howe, say that 10 times fast. A Gordie Howe hat trick is having a fight, a goal, and an assist all in the same game. You don't see it too often, named after the legendary Gordie Howe. And after 2 periods of play, Hallinan has a goal and a fight. Just looking for an assist in the third period. It wasn't in the cards for him tonight. I'm sure he'll have plenty of chances down the line at the Gordie Howe hat trick. But LeBanc, here on a professional tryout, gets one on the power play at 2:02, giving the Devils the 3-0 lead. And that's how it would remain until late in the game. And unfortunately, at 18-18, the Rangers break the shutout. Breaking my heart. I really wanted to see Jeremy Brodeur get the shutout. It was broken with 1:42 left. Rangers get on the board. That's how the game ends, 3-1. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. A Brodeur in net for the Devils, beating the Rangers. Like father, like son. Jeremy following in his father's footsteps, beating the New York Rangers. It never gets old. And even in a meaningless preseason game, without our NHLers, I still had the blood flowing a little bit. Obviously not to the same level as regular season games and stuff with our regular team, But this was as pumped up as I could get for essentially what was a Utica Comets versus Hartford Wolfpack AHL game, but in their NHL team jerseys in an NHL arena in an NHL preseason game. But love to see it. The team looked feisty. Like I said, they're all playing with something to prove, trying to get on the radar. The coaching staff, some of the guys trying to solidify their positions as AHL players. Some of the guys like Hallinan probably trying to leave a big impression so that, or if and when injuries down the line happen, they might be on the short list of guys to be called up to get some more time in the NHL. And I think Hallinan really is going to have a chance. I thought after the little bit we saw of him last season that he would definitely have a chance to compete in training camp and maybe, break his way into the lineup as a fourth liner, and I still think that remains. He had a decent amount of points in the AHL last year, and I think, him on that meat line could add a little bit more of a scoring touch and just a little bit of a more overall game. Love Nathan Bastian, but I do feel that Hallinan might be a upgrade in his spot. A line of Hallinan, Lazar, and Cotter could be lethal, potentially. But we'll see. He'll have plenty of looks, I'm sure, if injuries occur. But great game from Hallinan. And again, LeBanc on that PTO scored a nice power play goal. He's hoping to get a contract and stick around. Time will tell how that all plays out. But a Brodeur in net beating the Rangers. And guys, it's just, the rivalry is just, wow. If you've been around or been a fan for years, even if you're a newer fan, there's nothing like the Devils-Rangers rivalry. And, going back to the 94 series, the Eastern Conference Finals, and then all the series we played in between leading up to the beautiful 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. And then you had the 2023 series where we beat them in 7 after going down 2-0. Akira Schmid comes in. Shout out to the dearly departed Akira Schmid, a hero forever in my eyes. After Vanacek struggled, comes into the Garden in games 3-4. After being down 2-0, gets 2 huge wins. Ultimately, we win in 7. He has a shutout. Legendary stuff. And this just all kind of brings back all those feelings every time we play these Broadway blue skirts. But what a game. What a game. What a game. What a game. And this might be the last time we see Jeremy Brodeur for a while. The table was set for him perfectly with the other guys overseas. They took the third goalie in Dawes, and so he was one of the few guys left behind. And I'd love to see him get another preseason start. I don't know that we will. I definitely think Poulter's going to get at least one of the next 2 games. And I would imagine Brennan might get the other, but you never know. I mean, this was an absolute masterpiece he put on tonight. So congratulations to Jeremy Brodeur. I've wanted to see this for a while. A couple of weeks ago. I actually wanted Jeremy to get a start late in the last regular season when we were out of the playoffs. I was like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, I don't need to see Jake Allen again. I really wanted him to get a start last year. Some of you may remember that. But after it was released that the team was flying to Prague with a few preseason games left, I thought it was going to be a very good chance for him to get a start, and I'm glad he got it, and I'm glad he got it at home. Really pissed I wasn't able to attend, but what a night. And we'll just look at the game stats real quick. Rangers, 30 shots on goal, 29 of them saved by Jeremy Brodeur. Devils with 28 shots on goal. Faceoffs very close. Rangers 50.9%. Devils 49.1%. Rangers 0 for 6 on the power play. Oof. Devils 1 for 3 on the power play. 13 penalty minutes for the Rangers, 19 for the Devils. 27 hits the Rangers, 21 for the Devils. 21, it's decent. I mean, somehow we got credited with 1 the last game. Again, this is a very weird stat that's up to the person, deciding whether to give credit for a hit or not. I don't know how we got 1 hit credited in that last game on the island, but very bizarre. 27 hits for the Rangers in this one, 21 for the Devils. Love to see 20+. Would like to get it closer to 30. Rangers with 5 block shots. Devils with 19 block shots. Rangers 10 giveaways. Devils with 17 giveaways. Rangers 8 takeaways. Devils 7 takeaways. But anytime you have, hits plus block shots is 40+. Phenomenal team effort. And we had 21 hits and 19 block shots. That, again, I always talk about this. Those are the underrated stats of a hungry team doing everything they can to win, putting their body on the line. And 19 block shots and 21 hits is beautiful. Let's hope that the NHL guys could replicate numbers similar to that throughout the regular season, because that is a sign of a winner. When you're sacrificing the body like that, blocking shots, getting in those shooting lanes, love to see it. And that's what you get from a hungry team. Like I said, these are AHL guys, a few guys on PTOs, and they're trying to leave their mark. They're trying to leave an impression on the coaching staff and be remembered. And there's going to be a few guys that were remembered from tonight. Great game. Great game by the Utica Comets, dressed in Devils jerseys, and I'm hoping we see a repeat performance tomorrow night at the Garden. Very curious to see who's going to be in the net. I'd imagine it's going to be Poulter or Brennan at MSG, and I'm sure we're going to see a very similar lineup from at least the Devils and maybe the Rangers as well. I'm curious to see if there's any lineup changes for the Devils. But another preseason game, maybe we'll see some more fisticuffs. You guys all know I'm a Neanderthal throwback fan. I love the rough stuff, love the big hits, love the fights, and I'm hoping to see it. Back in the day, a lot of you, again, older fans, if you remember the mid to late 90s, Devils-Rangers regular season games were all-out wars with usually 3 or 4 fights per. The preseason Devils-Rangers games during that time, you might see 6 or 7 fights. It was just an absolute zoo. Some of my favorite childhood memories are going to those Devils-Rangers, Devils-Flyers, Devils-Islanders games at Continental Airlines Arena. Tickets were super cheap and easy to come by. A lot of people would be giving tickets away for free, and you'd go see the stars of the future as well as the enforcers looking to make a name for themselves and punch their way onto the lineup. And there was melees on the nightly. Just complete melees at Continental during the preseason. But let me know what you thought about this game in the comments. Anyone who impressed you the most, throw that out there. I thought Monsieur looked pretty good. A lot of you have been high on him. It's unfortunate for him that we just have such depth at defense right now. It's crazy, really. Even with all these, it took all these freak injuries for Seamus Casey to get a look. What seems like he'll be in the opening night lineup. That's not for sure yet, but it certainly seems that way. But we have depth now, and it's unfortunate that we have to rely on the depth so early in the year before we even play a regular season game. We're seeing the depth come into play. But that's what, Fitz realized from last year, that we got decimated by injuries and we can't allow it to happen again. So he went out, did some nice tinkering this offseason. The depth is here and it's already going to pay off. And hopefully Seamus Casey looks good. That's another interesting kind of side plot on the young season so far. Whether he plays well enough to force the coaching staff to keep him around or if he will be eventually sent to Utica when everyone's healthy, time will tell. I think he's going to have a great chance of sticking around and maybe forcing someone else out of the lineup. Very unexpected plot twist, but let me know what you guys think about Seamus Casey as well. But I am super jacked. I haven't been this excited for a, preseason game in years. Probably a little bit overly, happy about all this, but it's definitely the Brodeur nostalgia. And speaking of Brodeur, this video brought to you by our new sponsor, Dirty Devil Vodka. Dirty Devil Vodka, delicious vodka made from corn. The vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. Dirty Devil Vodka, link in description. Check it out. You can learn more about the vodka, where you can find it near you. Absolutely delicious. I'll be drinking this all season long. I'll be bringing some special cocktails and things to you guys throughout the season, and hopefully have some cool collaborations coming up with the Dirty Devil Vodka brand. But what a night from the Rock. I'm jealous of those of you that were able to attend. Jeremy Brodeur beating the Rangers. Love seeing a Brodeur beat the Rangers, and wow. Wow, oh wow. I'll be back soon. I'm working on a ton of stuff. Anything, everything Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I love talking to you all. Thank you for watching. I love you all. I'll be back soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.